In this video, I have a new contender for the best budget barefoot shoe. This is Grown and Healthy, a channel dedicated to exposing you to natural movement. A common complaint amongst minimalist shoe wearers has been, why are they so expensive? If they're made from less materials and have no athletes to endorse them, and they're not paying for televised commercials, why do they cost so much? It is oftentimes the cost of production, economies of scale, and patent licenses, technologies. But lately, it has been about the trends. Barefoot or minimalist shoes are without a doubt the fastest growing segment of footwear. Due to 24/7 foot coverage of athletes, we are now seeing that a good portion of the highest performing athletes train barefoot, lift barefoot, and run barefoot. This is shining a spotlight on our community and changing the face of footwear overall. Every brand is not only touting a zero drop shoe, but they're also saying that it's a minimal shoe, that it's a barefoot shoe. And with the average price of the popular options at $90 and upwards to $160, the material may be less, but the price is far from it, making for greater profits. But cheaper alternatives have always existed before this trend. But now more lesser known and unknown brands are dipping their toes in the water, pun intended, with the help of online retailers like Amazon. And in this review, I'll take a look at the Hiitave men's barefoot water shoe. This shoe is touted as a minimal shoe. Breathable polyester, fabric upper, a wide toe box, elastic shoelaces to help adjust the shoes and the tension, drainage holes on the bottom for the quick flow of water to help keep your feet dry. Now, my first impressions, it's always good to see minimal shoes in solid and conservative colorways, and this gray upper on white sole was a great option. Now, pattern and quality of the fabric seemed a bit dated in technology. The weave is a bit loose, but it gets the job done and keeps your feet contained without dragging through the weight. I found these shoes to be uncomfortable out of the box. After years of wearing minimal footwear, I know something was wrong. They seem to feel a little bit intrusive, like as if a conventional shoe where it tries to more form your foot than it following the form of your foot. So it feels more like a conventional shoe design, but it has the breathability of a barefoot shoe. It feels light while also not feeling as sturdy. It's a bit wishy-washy. It's not providing me with any real stability in terms of the fit and finish of the upper. As you can see, it's a water shoe, and the laces, while I appreciate some give, these aren't holding on at all. In fact, I could keep stretching these forever, and I don't know if I'd really find the stability that I'm looking for. With the knit upper, there's going to be a great deal of flexibility and movement, and I'm not sure over the long term how these will hold up in comparison with a Merrell's, which has a tighter weave. Now, the instep is not as strong as I thought it would be, so it's not as intrusive, but there's definitely padding on the heel. This is by no means anywhere near 3 millimeters or 8 millimeters. This padding on the heel is definitely more along a conventional shoe. Now, while it's not as pronounced, it still does have a padded heel, and you can feel that with every step. You can feel the cushion, and after wearing as many barefoot shoes as I have and walking barefoot, it is very pronounced. So if you're looking for an authentic minimal shoe, this is not it. Will it be a great shoe to transition from conventional to minimalist? Yes. Now, the first thing I feel is the squishiness of the shoes. They feel really squishy. They feel like wearing a conventional Nike or Adidas or Puma or any of those conventional brands. It feels highly disconnected from the ground. And remember, that's the reason why we're avoiding wearing conventional shoes. I ran a bit, I performed some lunges, deadlifts, and I was not impressed. Okay, so the first thing I noticed through the test was that, one, the insole did not fit to the length of the shoe. So what I mean by that is that I can feel my front toes actually pulling the insole back. And that led me to another thought. Why not just take the insole out? Because it doesn't have much use. And so, voila. This waffle-like cushion or insole was where all of the cushiness was coming from. It was actually spoiling or destroying a pretty decent shoe. Now, when you put on this shoe without the insole, now it's a barefoot shoe. And this is when everything changed. We minimalists or barefoot runners understand that this is a piece of trash. This is sensory depriving. This will hurt your knee. So once you take out this piece of crap, everything becomes a lot better wearing these shoes. Funny enough, these shoes weren't intentionally barefoot, but once I took the sock liner out of the shoes, it was day and night, difference in feel and performance. In fact, taking out these monstrosities provided even more lateral support than it initially had because now the foot was laid further down into the shoe. Once that issue was resolved, I felt much better about these shoes. And that is when the value really started to shine. The tread is flexible, enough to be twisted, but sturdy enough to run trails and grippy enough for damp environments. They claim a 3mm sole without the sock liner, but the tread height is at least 1mm at some parts. These are what I found favorable about these shoes. I like the conservative design and the conservative colors. You know, we all aren't looking for attention. It's good to have some variety. They are considerably light, weighing in at approximately 5.5 ounces each. These shoes fit true to size. As you know, if you watch my channel, I wear 11.5, and I bought the same size of these shoes, and they fit true to size. The removable sock liner allows for you to get the barefoot feel that they advertise. But understand that this is sold as a water shoe first. The wide toe box I appreciate, and it can be worn even with spreaders on. I like the breathable mesh upper, allowing breeze and flexible movement of my toes. I like also that they don't have any toe spring, which is a common fault amongst barefoot shoes, but this one gets it right. A lot of times people advertise being a minimal or barefoot shoe, and once you have toe spring, that invalidates it. Now, what I don't like, the tongue is too narrow, and it could be a little more substantive, even a little cushioning. The tread pattern is not optimal either, and it slightly slopes inwards, slightly everting the position of your ankle. The fabric top allows for excellent walking and running support, but it seems a little too stretchy or a little too weak to withstand high lateral tension. But this is a problem amongst all fabric upper shoes. It also has a high lateral support for a barefoot shoe once the sock liner is removed, but it could be sturdier. That would make it a phenomenal shoe. The laces are elastic, and combined with the stretchable fabric, there leaves no discernible effect of cinching it all the way taut or leaving it loose. I really didn't notice a difference in security, but at the end of the day, for $24, at the time of this publishing, they're a great alternative for your budget-minded consumers who have experienced barefoot shoes previously and just want a cheaper alternative. If you're new to the barefoot community or the barefoot minimalist shoe community, this may not be the best shoe for you initially. I prefer people start off on the right foot, pun intended. The experience of phenomenal barefoot shoe will change your outlook. And while I don't believe your initial experience with these shoes will give you the same epiphany, overall, it's a good shoe at an excellent price. If you want to see another shoe that I recommend, take a look at this video that I published recently.